uniform leave and attendance policy is very important for startups and for big companies because and in remote workforce area, then it is a big challenge. And remote work policy can be a separate policy also. Like, do you work on Sundays, do you not work on Sundays, how do you take your offs if there's an emergency on a working day? What do you count it as a off, as a leave, or do you just take those hours off and you compensate at another time in the day, or you work after night? So these flexibilities are not there in your Factories Act or your Shops and Establishments Act. For example, in your Shops and Establishments Act, there is a concept of spread. Spread means that from the day to night, there'll be a work slot. Okay, it'll be like 12 hours or 11 hours. And in that, you have to do your 8 or 9 or hours of work. Okay. And up till a certain time, it can go overtime. Beyond that, it can't go. But in work from home, it's not going to be like that. People may take longer breaks in the morning or in the afternoon. But that when that happens, the spread will increase. Okay, so people may work over a 16-hour duration and they may put in 8 hours. So you have to make that policy separately so that people understand what is happening. Otherwise, you will find it's going all here and there. You may have some policy on use of software to log time and activities. You may have software that actually takes screenshots of your employees' computers to show to confirm that they are working, which is scanned by the person managing performance at the central office. So these aspects need to be written in the remote work policy. A social media and communications policy is required for what employees can say about the company in their social media handle. That is one. Second, who communicates with press and PR agencies. Okay, so you will have need to have official communications policy to say that who's authorized to speak about the company. Okay, so that will be specific people only, and regular employees will have their own social media handle, so you have to limit what they can say. Various other policies are there: data retention policy, confidentiality policy, data protection policy. The Depending on the company, these expand. Appropriate loyalty bonuses need to be structured so that you can retain talent for the longest time possible. You want to incentivize people who stay longer. Now what people do right now is they penalize people for leaving early, but what happens is those kind of contracts don't get upheld by courts. However, contracts where you give people an incentive if they stayed back for longer and give them a bigger bonus, there it's not a problem. Okay, so if you do the right kind of employment contract, this will work. Then startups need stock options and other incentive creation plans, whether it's prof. So they'll need contracts which have special conditions for payment of incentives. Biggest one is stock option or phantom stock option creation. Phantom stock option is where you get the money of the increase in company's valuation in cash, and in stock option you get it in shares. Okay, now how do you create these plans and administer them? How do you use these in your performance appraisal? Okay, how do you encourage the senior management to grant these? Is a function of how HR does it. Senior management wants this to be administered in a uniform way. There should be parity. People should be aligned and not demotivated by this. It should have the right principles in place, so that can go into the drafting and implementation of these plans. Posh is a huge area because people want policy, compliance, manage. So there are 5 areas around it. You see, policy making. Policy making has various aspects. If you have a factory, policy will be different. If you have a commercial office, it will be different. If it's a shop floor or a mall, it'll be slightly different. If it's gender neutral, it'll be different. Compliance aspects are there in the law. You have to do some filings and all of that. Management के लिए reporting is there. You have to report to the management saying what is the status, and training. Four things are there. Okay, all these 4 aspects are different categories of services. Training also has branches, whether it is for employees or for the internal committee, or it is for the senior management. So training also has at least 3 different categories. Then IP related clauses, confidentiality, non-compete and non-solicit ka enforcement. You put those in the contract, but when people, how do you enforce these and how do you minimize कि इसका violation नहीं होगा? Employee signed it when he joined the company. By the time he or she is leaving, he may have lost the contract or may not be meaning to honor it. How do you remind the employee that this is your obligation? You dishonor it, we will enforce. The next part is that how do you take action if they actually dishonor it, because you want to take action, otherwise everybody will be dishonoring it. Maternity benefit and paternity leave. So maternity benefit is there under law, paternity leave is optional. You can create it if you want. Now this requires a strategic call from you and the top management of the organization that you can take. So now understand this, when you are working on all of this, and this work was for startups we were looking at, okay, these policies are reinforcing whose objectives? CEO, COO, CFO. These three people are very key in your working as HR manager in this area, or HR consultant. Any HR consultant working in these areas can be very effective. When the companies are smaller, they don't have HR to look at this side, the legal side of things. At most they don't even have any HR initially, but when a company crosses like 100 people, maybe they start hiring an HR team, okay, and there the HR is first looking. There could be a generalist role, or there would be more general roles, not so specialized into these aspects. Therefore HR consultants have a big opportunity to cater to these needs.